Calculator still worked.
Yeah, I guess the calculator was protecting the batteries, but.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that too. I'm missing the numbers here.
Yeah, have you...
Have I?
So I think you're done,
Oh, I was just gonna say.
and you're for sure,
I'm gonna open it again.
So, let's see here, so...
David.
I have to use these dials.
Just make it
Yep.
Toolbox.
Gotta make a note of that. There we go.
and that's gonna be 1
Right.
plus, and then, don't you have to do addition first?
Doesn't matter which, and when it comes to subtraction and addition, in this case, it doesn't matter because it's gonna be, because this is gonna be 1 minus 4 plus 10. Okay. Now, this is gonna give us a positive 6
It's supposed to be okay.
here, and then 1 plus 6 is 7. So either way, you're gonna get 7 here in this situation.
Oh,
Even
okay.
if you do subtraction or addition.
So that's what we'll put in?
Yeah, so 7 is the right one.
Oh, wait,
What?
Oh, nothing, I'll just have to...
what about zero? The question, did it say
Oh,
you do
Before
more than
DI
one?
closes, I forgot something.
Oh,
else.
never mind,
Like,
because they don't say greater
Oh.
or less than, then.
Which is okay.
But in another one, they could say.
let's see here, so now 0...
Change their 7.
Minus 12 divided by 3. So now that's -4.
Yeah, 0. Which won't make a difference here. I can just leave that alone, because even though, because it's 0 there,
So
so
it needs to be 6.
Yep. 6.
Hey. This is it.
Just to make sure.
I had a feeling.
No,
I
that's,
had a feeling that's what it was.
he's making sure we get the real.
Wow, I wasn't gonna go there, but
Good, good, good.
Oh, man.
Alright.
Have you ever been shadowed?
Okay.
Yeah.
We're having technical
I
difficulties.
actually got shadowed,
yeah, I'll just shadow Kendrick there.
No, you're good, man. You go right ahead over there. You go on shadow Miss Heidi.
It'll be a positive review, Kendrick.
I understand, but but you came to shadow her, so I don't wanna,
It's okay, we're still gonna.
but yeah.
Are you trying to be
I've been shadowed
independent?
before, like I actually got shadowed last week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, I can't remember when. But it was definitely this month, but I think it was probably last week. Yeah.
Where is it, can you,
Yes, oh yes, it was last week, I remember for sure, because it was,
you can find it, you
It
can go
was-
how about you if you
it
go
was,
to
it was at the
Saturday
beginning of,
morning?
it was beginning of, last week, yeah.
Because I had it here, but it's not
Oh,
opening.
and how about try what,
Okay.
what?
So, when we square -1, what do we get?
Open, it won't get that one.
When we square -1 under the exponent, what do we have?
That is?
Just 1?
Exactly. So then we have 1 minus 4 plus 10. That looks familiar, doesn't it?
Seven.
7 again, yeah.
Let me see if I can pull it out.
Because it's a quadratic, so usually when we have a quadratic, we normally would get the similar output, outputs.
See if I can find it on here.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. This one looks fun.
It does, but it's not as bad as you think it is.
So let me
It's
just.
okay, it's not too bad.
Is it
Yeah,
for
So
one
we
way?
just basically
No,
have
this
it.
is pretend like.
It's the same, I don't know why.
So this is just basically, we
Oh,
have.
it's fine, is this the original one? Then we're
Yeah.
good.
It's just
I
an
know, when you have paired
exponential
data, you have to
function.
make sure it's
Okay.
equal. Does that make sense when you're doing the study?
Times
It's
2
fine.
raised by
You know,
x plus y.
But I just thought you couldn't even get your numbers anymore or something. We're good.
That's an exponent.
Yes, it is. It's an exponential function. So, the numbers you're gonna be plugging in are actually powers.
Sorry, duo whoopie whoopie. If you're not fast enough.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is it bad, Kendrick, that I'm just getting a little ahead in my assignment?
Pain in the neck.
What do you think?
I don't think so.
Do you know what a duo is?
I don't think so either.
Okay. I mean,
You kidding?
In class?
No.
Oh, no,
I
I'm,
mean,
It's
not
not-
like you
it's
stay
not-
on top.
No, it's not bad. You don't have to.
right.
You don't have to. You don't have to feel bad for getting ahead in your assignments. But I should warn you though. Don't get complacent.
Okay, what does that mean?
That means that don't get too comfortable
Oh, okay.
because it could come back to bite you if you're not exactly prepared. You know.
Yeah,
So, but you can get ahead if you want, and that's no issue. But just don't get too comfortable.
I just don't.
Cause I remember that once happening to me, and then all of a sudden something, you know.
Yeah.
Well, thank God I didn't, but no.
No, it's okay.
So it was my
Oh,
turn.
okay,
So
we gotta
we
go.
had presentations,
Mm-hmm.
and so I.
Okay, so what was that question that we just did on the quiz?
So
Was
for
that
me,
number-
I went last.
What number?
So my presentation wasn't until the end of the semester. So like,
Number what?
like July. It was like
Right,
July,
now
the end
number
of
two?
July. So like
Oh, wait.
around there, like July 19th. That's when I was supposed to present
I wanna make sure.
my. So we were supposed to do 2 mathematicians and do some research on them.
What requirements
And
must you check when you come back?
My presentation wasn't until July 19th. I waited so long and, procrastinated it and everything. And I didn't do research on it until
You're right on it. Let me just-
that month. And so that month of July. So
On my quiz.
then,
Okay.
I prepared myself and did the research, but I could have gotten a lot more out of it if I were to prepare myself beforehand. Instead of, instead of just waiting until the month of, So, yeah.
Oh, when?
It was nerve wracking going up there, but at the same time, I had fun nevertheless. So, yeah. So yeah, don't get too comfortable because if you get too comfortable, it's gonna come back to bite you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There has to be
Mhm.
connection, right? There's like father and son,
Yeah.
husband and wife, but then they can be totally unrelated, they don't have to. Excellent.
I just know,
You got it.
yeah.
But yeah, there's nothing wrong with being ahead. It really isn't, honestly. But just be careful.
I think it was a good idea because
Because that's what you saw on the data, correct?
Mhm.
Okay, let me.
Yeah.
that project you helped me with last night was really fun.
So,
Mhm.
this is, if this.
It was fun, actually.
Say how many decimal
Yeah.
I mean, we could have
points.
probably
Excellent.
done the
Excellent.
car
But
one
if it was wrong, then maybe data got.
We can do the car one if you want.
for fun.
Otherwise.
I don't know if I have to
both of
turn
you
it
locate
into
the copy.
It's either the house one or the car one.
Oh, is that?
Oh.
okay.
Oh, that was a choice. Okay. It wasn't, okay. That makes sense then, because it wasn't just like you have to do car and loan, and car and house, but it's a choice. Makes sense.
Yeah, that's one reason I chose the,
Okay, perfect. This is good just to check, 'cause sometimes it's a little frustrating.
that's
too.
why
It's like,
I
why
chose
is it not
the,
same? And the biggest mistake is somebody, they had
the
something
house
before
one,
and they
'cause that
changed it
one
over,
is easier.
but they didn't
Oh,
realize there
got
were
it.
still some values left over, things like that.
Okay.
Okay,
Or
that
they
makes
didn't put the
sense.
right, confidence,
Okay.
into
Now.
there, that kind of thing.
So do you remember any of the exponents,
Beautiful.
then the exponent
You
rules?
see this one?
Yeah.
It's like,
You know, how do we deal with exponents? So basically,
correct
the,
decision.
this is the base. So the power tells us how many of the base.
Oh,
so 2
oh,
times
the
2.
way.
Not quite. So what I mean is,
0.10.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
No,
from 0
so
to
the
10,
power
then
tells us
what
how
would that
many,
be?
how many of the base there are and multiply together.
Okay.
So, if it was
Yeah.
if it was 2 raised by 2, then that means I'm multiplying 2 twice. So, in this case,
It would be just
Did you
one.
want it?
exactly, I only have 1 2 there to multiply, and that's it. So, I just have 2 overall.
Then it's times 6.
Which is?
Uh, 36? No, that's
No, that's 6 times 6. No.
18.
I know you have to do.
No, not quite.
Right.
You're
And
over by a
yeah,
little
there-
bit. So,
is there any more over
I'm
there? Or was it
multiplying
the other
6
one?
twice. Oh, no, that's 36, I'm sorry. So,
They're not the
I'm
same.
doubling 6,
Right.
so that means how much do I have?
They were the
12.
same,
12.
what that would call.
Oh, okay.
No, but just think about that.
And then it
What-
was 16.
what's our
no.
null hypothesis?
It's 16 overall, yeah, you're right, because it's 12 plus 4, 16.
Think about this.
So if you plug
You're
in,
just trying to.
plug
point
in
out
1,
that what we were
then
trying to
overall
point
you're gonna
out
get
is different
16.
Or they're not the same.
Mhm.
Remember, it's over
All
there
right.
like that, right? But this other one, it says, you have sufficient
So
evidence that
2 to the
mean
0
harmony
power.
distance
Well,
between the two cities
I
are
have
the
to
same.
show you an
What does that
explanation on
describe?
that one, because many
describing
students,
Your null
often
hypothesis
forget
or your alternative? What's the null hypothesis?
many students often forget the 0 power. So,
That number.
because it tells us 1, and you're wondering,
That's a good
how
one.
does that
Go
work?
up here,
Yeah.
look up here.
You know, how does that work? Well, I can give you an example of how it
Well,
works.
we're gonna go
So,
here.
let's say I had 2 cubed divided by 2 cubed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is basically saying
You've
that
got
I'm
2
multiplying
samples, right?
Mm-hmm.
3,
And
multiplying
so
2
you've
3
got
times
sample
on
one,
top and the bottom,
and you've got
right?
Sample
Yeah.
2.
Now, in the
What's
exponent
the
rules,
null- I mean, the null.
when it comes to dividing
When you have two
dividing the
different
exponents,
samples,
I
what is-
subtract the powers, right?
What,
Oh, you do?
Yes.
what's the?
According to the rules of exponents for division.
Oh, okay.
So then I have 2 raised by 0 in this case. Now, here, that's basically the same thing as this, right?
Look
So,
above it, might give you a
that's
hint.
1
Don't
times
look.
1 times 1. I get 1 overall,
Previous
right?
studies,
So that means
wasn't our null
2 to the
always
0.
equal to the mean, right? Always.
So you wouldn't have to, because I'm trying to figure out how you get it.
So-
So
So by division, if I'm dividing the same base, I subtract the powers.
Okay.
So 3 minus 3 is 0. Now, I rewrote this in a different way. Okay. Now you see, I divided a 2, I got a 1. I divided a 2, I got a 1.
Two and a half twos,
Right there.
or
Exactly.
2 twos
Okay, does that
equals
make
1.
sense? So
If I
then,
divide both of
that's what I'm
them,
getting back
if
to you on.
2 twos divided, I get 1.
Yeah,
We have
Yeah.
sufficient evidence
okay.
that
That's-
the mean.
okay.
Yeah,
between the
2,
two
if I
cities
divide
are the same.
2 twos, I get 1.
They're saying-
Or like 3 divided by 3, 1.
Whenever we're talking
or
about
1/2 divided by
what-
1/2,
what
1.
can you conclude?
Okay.
What's
Okay.
your correct
So
conclusion
now
or
I have
what
6
can you
times
conclude in
1.
the study? You're always relating to your
That's
alternative
six.
hypothesis
Exactly.
only.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay,
then
does that make
6
sense?
Yeah.
It's
plus
only
4.
because you're trying to
Exactly.
disprove it. You know, you've done all the studying and the sample and the studying. Everything to do with your, the alternative hypothesis. You're trying to prove it's true, right? And so that's why this one, what would this say?
All right.
Insufficient
Negative.
evidence of the mean density scales between
Oh,
the two
negatives,
cities
negatives,
are the
negatives,
same.
negatives.
What would that be? Would
Should
that
we
be?
just burn all the negatives?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Negatives are
And
numbers
just talking
too.
about the null?
Although
No.
they can be irritating at times, but negatives are numbers as well.
Would it just be negative?
Whenever
No,
you're
actually.
talking about your hypothesis,
So-
you notice it's an A.
If it was 2 times negative 1, then I would agree, but we're raising that by negative 1. So 2 raised by negative 1, I can show you how that works.
You're trying to
Okay.
disprove the null,
Now,
so when it asks what's the
the exponents
conclusion,
rules say if I have a negative
always talking
exponent,
about the alternative
I just
hypothesis.
write
You
it
have
as
to
a
see
fraction.
that?
Okay?
So,
So that's what we have to
you gotta touch screen. So you
prove
notice on
here.
this,
Because the 2 is on the bottom here. And you wonder how you get the 2 on the bottom. Well, let's say, for example, I was dividing 2 cubed
Wouldn't you say?
and 2 to the 4th
They're
power.
saying,
I'm gonna rewrite this,
but is that
so
one
I
of our
have
choices? or
3 twos,
That's why.
and then I have 4
almost like they're trying to
twos,
trick you
right?
that way. But you know, if it would say
Multiply
this,
together.
they're talking about the null, but they're asking you.
Now, what I'm gonna do, of
Your
course,
study.
is I'm gonna divide,
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to point out.
I'm gonna get 1
I
there,
think they are the same. are the
Divide,
same.
of course, I get
Talking about
1
the null.
here.
I thought he was gonna do
and
that.
divide there, I get 1. I get 1 in the numerator,
When they say what conclusion.
but I got a 2 in the denominator, right? So I get 1/2,
Okay.
which is the same as this.
Got it? Okay, good. They probably got it, fine.
I just wrote 2 to the 1 because
Okay,
I got 1, 2 to the
Okay,
1.
next.
Okay?
So that's
The
it?
next one, that's what I
Yes,
get.
so 2 raised by -1 is
Oh.
1/2.
Because I was thinking in the data, so I was like,
Oh, okay, let's look at the problem, what it's saying first, okay?
we just read it.
Oh, yeah, right, okay, so what's it, so.
Now we have 6 times a half.
What's the appropriate, you suspect,
So, how did you,
a different number of times.
where did you get these
So-
2 numbers from?
Oh, I just made up an example.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just an example.
Okay.
It still would work with variables if I were to do variables, you know.
You
So
know, or my alternative hypothesis is.
if I were to do
greater
x
than
raised by
or
-1, you know,
Are you trying to see the process?
if I did that, I would still get like 1 over x. But then I'm gonna make an example of like, let's say this is just x squared divided by x cubed.
Okay.
Now,
Oh,
yeah, it's
okay.
basically the same idea.
Well, what this
And
is
then
here is
I got
that
3 down
they're
there.
saying,
So that means if I divide 1x, I get two x's, I get a 1. If I divide another one, I get 1 up there. But then I got x left on the bottom right here. So I get 1 over x, which when we subtract, when we divide exponents, I'm subtracting, when I'm dividing by the same base, I'm subtracting the powers.
Okay.
Which is still gonna give me a negative exponent right there, which equals 1 over x. So that means I got 1/2.
So here it's asking,
right
you
there.
suspect, because you're doing that other study,
Okay.
that proves that they're equal. You suspect that freshmen from Utah cook dinner for themselves a different number of times than the freshmen in
Can
Colorado.
you put that over 1?
So when they say
What?
different number of times, they didn't say, did they say greater, like more times? Did they say less times? So what symbol are you gonna use? What is that
Oh.
actually saying, a different?
So it's 6 times a half.
Yeah, it's not the same, it's different, right?
So
It's
6
not
times a
equal.
half. So
So
basically,
when
I
you
got
have a
6 divided by
problem,
2,
like,
pretty
you
much.
might come up on your test, and if it
Divided by
says different,
2?
Because if you look,
different means not the same.
if you look, we got 6 times 1/2.
Mm-hmm.
Another way to write this 6,
non-equal
because
to.
this is a whole
There's
number,
a clue.
right?
Whenever it says
I
different,
can
you
say
know,
6 divided by
not the
1
same, not equal.
times 1/2.
Okay, so then you're
Oh,
gonna be
okay.
able to answer
Yeah.
that question right now. Let's see.
See, many students think that a whole number is just a whole number,
Is this
but
one
they
you
can
want
be
more
fractions
clarity
as
on?
well.
Is that all?
It's just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Does
not
that make
common
sense?
to write 6
Okay,
over 1,
great.
okay?
Oh, now you're.
Now-
You gotta find that out.
Now that this is the truth, we can multiply straight across, and that's 6 divided by 2. And we know what 6 divided by 2 is what?
4?
Not quite, that's subtraction.
Three.
Like,
It's 3.
Mm-hmm.
to be so neat.
Yes, 3.
I love that.
There you go. So that
Well, part
is
of it
3.
is important when
Okay.
you're into any kind of
Now,
job that you know how to.
We have
do
3,
that,
so
right?
3 plus 4 is how much?
3 plus 4 is 7.
7. So overall, the answer should be 7.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then,
What number was it?
'cause you times that.
I multiplied both,
Oh, yeah,
I multiplied the
I
numerator
read it right.
and the denominator,
Is it
which,
same?
I multiplied the numerators together and I multiplied the denominators together.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Interesting, you know what mine says? Says negative.
Yep,
Now I just gotta enter all the numbers in.
that's
I
right.
put it like in the right grouping.
16.
Now, look, can I see this out? That's one thing you have to But they're independent, so it shouldn't matter. Oh, wait, go to your problems, go to your problems. What it says in the problem.
Oh, gosh.
No, you're
Okay,
good,
oh,
don't worry.
okay, this one.
Totally
Oh,
fine.
boy.
It's okay. It's not as bad as you think it is.
Oh, okay.
It's all right, don't worry. We're just gonna read the problem.
Oh, right here.
Read the problem and then see what we need to do.
So,
We'll be okay.
all we do is
So, it says the body mass index, or
Okay,
BMI, is a
represent
number
the
that is
number
often used to determine
from
if,
Colorado.
if an individual is a healthy weight.
Row are the
Yes,
Colorado
which makes
people.
sense. That reminds me of my, InBody
And then the row
results.
two is how the Utah did.
The function of finding an individual's BMI is, okay, so we're just gonna write this down. So we have F of W
Okay.
equal to
But this is a good lesson to learn, 'cause if you would've got it right, and then you
W
might not
divided
have
by
thought
H
it was
squared,
important for this one or other.
which could be written as
So that's when
that,
you're thinking of.
pretty much. That's the same way. So, okay. So W represents weight in pounds, and H represents height in inches. Okay. So, what we're gonna do is, we're gonna use this function right here to help us solve the problem. So they give you numbers that represent W and H. Okay? So, all we have to do is do the same idea. Yup, we're gonna plug them in. But, we're probably gonna get some decimals this time. They're not gonna be as,
Somebody in your class.
they're not gonna be good numbers, like good whole numbers, but they will be decimals at least. So for example, we could say W for the first one is 107, and H is 59. And they won't care about the units, you know, pounds and inches, so you're totally okay. We just want the number, pretty much. So that's all they
Wait, let
want.
me see that, 0.41 what?
So we have 720 multiplied by W, which is 107,
Mine has
divided by
0.10.
59 squared.
Can I see this? Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we just have to figure out what that is.
I know, cause look at this, could this be this?
So yeah, that's the setup right there. Good.
That should be.
So can we just plug that into the
Yeah,
calculator?
Yeah, we can.
You see what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
Ask your teacher.
Because that's gonna be really hard to try to calculate, trying to do it in your head.
Could be interesting.
So, okay.
I have 0.41, but
Okay,
I'm
hang
not
on.
you know, take it within, like, I noticed that on the test, they take it within a. Okay.
Says nearest
And that's
10,
what
so
it
that
says.
means
So
we're
we're
gonna round to the
P
first
value
decimal
is
point.
greater than the thing that divided. So that means that we go to the
Hmm? Now we're on which one? 14?
Determine the line number. So 3..
Yep,
You got it around that,
Did
so
you get
yeah, 10.
10, so it's only one decimal place, right?
Just 2213.
Or in other words, 22.1.
Mine's different.
Okay.
I want
Yeah,
you to do this. I
'cause it
want-
says
do you know
nearest
how to do
10.
this to get this by hand?
22.1.
Yeah. It says nearest 10, not 100. If that were the case, then we would put that 3 there.
But I don't have the.
Okay, so the kids score, you gotta take this down.
Okay,
You know what they're talking about?
Alright.
When they say.
same idea
what is
again,
the
but this time we're just
confidence interval? And what is
replacing the
margin
W and
of
the
error?
H
Do
for
you
different
understand
numbers.
So confidence interval is.
Do we need to write it down at all?
No, you don't have to. You can just replace that. You do
You're
the
doing
same
that
function,
right.
just replace the
Show
W and
me,
H.
I'm pretend I'm the student now, teach me. You can erase the stuff about it.
91 and 69.
You got that.
Change it to a decimal. Okay, great. So it should be 28 point what?
0.8,
Point what?
88.
Well, we have to round to the nearest tenth, don't we?
Yeah.
So that means it should be 28 point what?
Okay, then I thought it was a
28.8.
Okay, where's your mean?
28.8?
Not almost. So remember,
Excellent, so what's this
That-
class called, you're saying?
so we have to round.
22.9.
Yeah, 28.9.
What is the number?
That's what it is. It's 28.9.
No problem, that's what I was thinking.
Yep. All right.
Can I tell you something?
Same idea again.
I'm gonna put this in.
Just gotta replace the
If I'm
numbers.
ordering a pizza, and then I'm saying, oh, what is your compensation? Because you say, you know what, it's between
You're in the business major,
and
right?
30 minutes.
No.
Okay?
Oh, okay.
Nope.
Engineering?
This is
Nope.
my compensation.
No.
Okay, does that make sense?
Nothing against
Lower that?
engineering, but no, that's not my major, no. I'm in the secondary ed major.
Oh, do you like it?
It's been all right.
How-
I've
Excellent, so I know my music.
I've been
That's right, I'm working
I've been
hard.
doing what I have to do, working hard.
Hmm.
It's not easy by any means. I do
In other
like
words,
it.
what-
I do like it, but sometimes I hate
When
it
they say
too.
margin of error, it means my margin of error is
Yeah.
how far away is
Yeah.
it from
So it's
So,
not
what's my margin
it's not
of error?
too bad. It's gonna make me work for sure, you know.
Are you hoping to be like a school teacher?
Yes.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty good at your point.
It's not gonna be easy though.
Okay?
Yeah, do you have to go
And they tell you-
more and more
I'm gonna
school
tell you this,
after you graduate?
their
No.
average time to cook your pizza,
Not really. But if I want the pay to
so
be
that's gonna be
increased,
in the middle.
if I want to
right?
increase my
Yeah,
pay,
right,
then
right.
yeah, I would have to. But
And
But
they
I don't
give it
necessarily have
value
to.
With a margin of error
Oh,
of
gosh.
5, let's do this,
Oh,
7
boy.
minutes.
oh no, don't worry. It's okay. It's all right.
What's gonna be, what is my
Don't be
upper value number and my lower?
don't be
value?
afraid. It's okay. It happens.
Oh.
Sometimes you're gonna have those
I'm
where
gonna add 20, like 7.
it's not too bad. Not too bad.
32?
Go
And
get
maybe a
through it.
minus.
Just relax. It's all good. Don't worry. All right. It's all we have to do is sketch the line.
If I
Sketch
take
a
5 away, I
line.
have 20,
Okay.
right? But I have 2 more
So,
to take away.
We know what our intercept is,
2 more
right?
From 20?
So our intercept is
Minus
at
2
2.
more from
So 0,
You're
2,
close.
0, 2. So
Does that make sense?
Not there,
with
that's
the
1.
comprehension of what my margin of error
oops. So go to trash.
is?
Go to trash can and just
7
click on it.
minutes. What's my margin of error here?
There you go. Okay, so now we're gonna go back there. Now our intercept is at 0, 2. Great. Now we follow the slope.
Yeah, does that make sense?
So we follow the slope.
Now-
So it's rise over
My
run,
margin
right?
of error, and I go like this.
So
and
what's the
MOE,
rise?
Because I don't want this to be M mean, and I get it mixed up, so if I put MOE.
Two?
It's 2.
Here's
So
the deal.
rise
You know how
means
you
we
get
go
that?
up, right?
Take your upper
Yeah.
limit,
For this one, this particular one.
subtract
So,
the lower limit,
We got,
and
we're gonna go up 2,
divide by
right?
2, and that's how you'll get
From
the
that
margin of
point,
error
so
for
up
this
2.
test.
Oh, no.
Okay,
We start at the
try
point.
it, do that
So we
one.
start from the
Try it
point.
for the.
Then we go up 2 and then run a 5, right? Okay, perfect. There's our line. Now let's see if it's correct.
Mhm.
Bam. Done.
Mhm.
Sweet.
Do it again.
Perfect.
You have to put graphics on it. Try it again.
25 minus.
It says plot the
Oh,
ordered
wait,
pairs. Okay.
what the heck? I
And then
erased
we
the,
need to
sorry.
see which
I put the 25 again, talking
of
about.
out of the 3
Sorry,
has
I'm like, what?
those
Very good.
functions.
Sorry.
Okay, which of the 3 has those, which of those functions has those 3 points in? Okay, so,
Okay, that's how you get your margin of error point.
alright, perfect.
Done it for me.
Let's see. So,
Which
Upper
one?
bound.
so we just have to
Plug all those in, right?
Right,
And then
we have to
we
plot
also
them,
say,
but first,
your
we have
piece
to
is gonna
see.
take 20 minutes
Let's
to
see.
give or take 5 minutes. Have you ever heard that before? So what they're saying is,
1, 4,
the piece will take about 20 minutes, give or take
Okay.
5, meaning on the
1,
high
4.
side, it's gonna be 25, and on
Okay.
the low side, it's gonna
So
be
2,
15.
5.
Give,
so we got
If you're
2,
giving
5,
five
1,
minutes.
4, and then,
and what did I say? Let's do
wrong way, wrong spot.
this. Say, if I
So
say,
let's go to
your
trash.
piece is gonna
Yeah.
take, here's an English
Alright.
lesson,
So it says
25
2,
minutes to
5,
give, so if you're,
no, 2,
I'm
5, so
giving you
2,
something, I'm adding it to you, right?
so
give,
2, 5. So you
or
go
take.
X
This is
and then
English
Y.
expression.
There you go.
Give or take 5 minutes.
2, 5, and then it says 1, 4.
Take out, right?
Yeah, take out. So, when you do this with an English expression.
And then we have negative 1,
25 minutes, give or take, or, you know, 25 minutes, give or take 5 minutes.
negative 1,
What am I gonna put on my upper bound?
okay.
The upper, this
Mhm.
one, so,
Mm-hmm.
30.
Right there.
Right on,
Perfect.
and the lower.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm sure
But here I gave it
it's a parabola,
5
so that
minutes,
means it's
and here
not the
I
first
took
choice,
away
is it?
Same scenario, but now you have
So
an
that
English
means it's
expression.
either the second or the third
Give or
choice,
take
right?
5 minutes, you're like, oh, you mean it's on the highest.
It's out of one of those two,
side, on the lowest
since it's
side,
a
going down.
quadratic, right? Okay, so now we need to
3
check
English
to
lessons,
see
no extra time.
if we plot any of those points, right? To see which one works. So let's see.
2,
Let's try plugging in. Let's try plugging in that 2 into that function right there.
So
To see what we
2 to
get.
the x,
5.1
it's gonna be 2 times 2 is 4.
And
Plus
4 plus
8.
4, 8. Do we get 8 when we plug in that 2?
No.
I mean, do we get 5? Do we get 5 when we plug in that
No.
2? No. So that means this isn't right, correct?
Yeah.
So that means this is the only choice left.
If they ever wanted to add
That
something
one.
for this, then you know how to do it.
Okay, so it looks like
And
we
when
plotted
they let
this
you take
wrong.
notes in, make sure you have them.
Oops.
No, it's okay. It
But for
happens.
the,
Let's just get rid of that. Okay,
you have
great.
that other one
Now,
somewhere.
in this case, so it looks like we got the right function,
Margin.
but we have to plot it correctly. So, in order for us to plot this function correctly, we need the vertex.
Yeah.
That's the
So,
margin of error for
the
you.
vertex
Okay? So use this one to, okay?
has this formula for the x coordinate.
Yeah.
Now, so quadratic, no, that's not a squared, no. So in a regular quadratic, in standard form, it's like this. Now,
Oh, that's one.
the coordinates, the coefficient, these numbers represent coefficients,
Okay.
okay? So in this problem, we had
What do you have?
x squared minus 2x plus 5.
I'm not supposed to say that, I don't have
So,
this.
You called this what? A
I want you to write
coefficient?
the numbers
Yes,
that have
the numbers in front of the-
on these numbers. They're
Front of the
all-
variables,
they're close.
the numbers in front of
I
the
don't
variables
know.
are
Did they
coefficients.
say they gave you a new one, this is a new one?
That's the vocabulary word of
Well,
Okay.
mathematics for that, is
I don't
coefficients.
stick to the question.
Okay. So,
So write down this one from this
So
one,
A
go somewhere, so you know.
is equal to 1,
Mhm.
B, and B is equal to negative 2, and C is
Negative
5. But
Five point
luckily,
one.
we're only looking for A and B, of course. So, all we have to do is just,
So no English.
all we have to do is just plug in A and B into this.
214, right?
So first,
Oh, why did they say
so
that?
B was negative 2, so we got negative 2 here,
Yeah, that 2.2.
divided by 2,
So-
divided by 2 times 1, excuse me.
But, this was
Okay.
right.
Now, here, now we can say two negatives make a positive once we multiply.
Let's go to the one above.
So, I'm just gonna put plus signs there.
What
Yeah.
does
Those
it tell
two
you? Look at
curves.
12.
Exactly. So that's 1, isn't it? That's 1, right?
Yeah,
So
I
x is
have that.
1.
0.41.
Now, we need to plug it back into this function that we chose. So we have x, so this is the function. Then we plug in x. 1 squared minus 2 times 1 plus 5. So then, this is 1, that won't change. -2 plus 5.
6 point, I'm sorry.
Overall,
6
we're
point.
gonna get 4. So our
So you're
vertex
5 off,
is
5,
1, comma, 4.
1,000, right.
I think I did it, yeah.
Did I lose you a little bit?
Sorry about
No,
that.
you're good. I'm just making sure that you,
Can you show me the
So-
picture
I'm just making sure that you're good now.
Okay, so this is,
of your
um,
oh,
this is the coefficient.
sorry, is this big
Right.
enough?
Yeah, this,
After the number.
so this is a coefficient here, that -2. 1 is the coefficient of that one, and 5 is the coefficient.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out what kind of coefficient.
Oh, is that's a variable? No,
Okay.
no, that's just a variable we
Okay.
use. So, this 1, we substituted that 1 in for x because we found what x
Okay.
was.
Okay.
We needed to figure out what the y was.
Mine,
That's
I don't know what-
that was what we were missing.
Mine is 2.62.
And so y equaled 4.
Mm-hmm.
So we needed the coordinate for the vertex in order for us to plot this. So first,
Put for the number.
so let's plot our vertex. So
Oh,
1, 4.
4 for the Vizia.
So 1, 4.
Why would that be the same, but here's the one 1? Isn't that strange? 2.62.
Okay, so that is, oh, that's trash. So you gotta click on the, yeah. So 1, 4, okay. So move. We can
No,
move,
it's
well, we can move it over so we can,
That's different than 4 times.
then, yeah.
You're looking at the percentile.
Not quite. Go back. Go a little bit forward.
Go back.
Go to a little bit to the right. A little more. A little more. Just a tad. Go back a little bit to the left. Okay. Go a little bit to the
Yeah, I
left.
got
Just a little
2.62.
bit.
This is to do two.
Go a little to the right, about right there, yeah. Alright, that's gonna be perfect as it gets. So then, now we can plug in. Now we can plot those points.
Right? Oh, no, you.
No,
said
just-
2.6.
We can plot a couple of them, so it's okay. So,
But it's too
oh, 1, 4 was the vertex
I
to
think
begin
I
with.
would
Okay,
say-
well, never mind. Okay. Oh, no, we're not done. We didn't plot the thing.
Oh, by the
So,
way, on
okay.
this, that
So-
would be the first
so
standard
move not
deviation.
there. Not there.
You don't even know the.
No, it's
ground,
okay, it
right?
happens. So,
So, what would be the
Okay.
time, I'm gonna ask you this.
so we're gonna have
Give me
negative
two
1,
standard
8.
deviations.
right here.
I think you have to hit.
Oh, that's right click.
You're able
Oh,
to figure out
I
here.
forgot.
No, you're good.
There we go, right here.
Mhm.
Then 1, 4,
This is one standard
which
deviation.
is right there.
What would be the value?
And then we got
if it was
2,
two
5.
standard deviations?
40,
Okay.
Which is weird because we did something like that, didn't we?
We got it.
Yeah.
Make sure.
There we go. Yeah, we had to go in this order. That's what happened.
And some people
We had to
don't
go in order
They
with
don't
it.
understand.
Okay, next.
Two standard deviations. So way to go,
Mhm.
Anthony Ross.
Awesome.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Alright, it says which of the following matches, so basically we have to match the function family.
That's
Yeah,
what we do
so-
all the
Take
time.
a picture of these. Real quick, just so then
Did it?
I can write that down later in my,
Oh, you know what I'd like to do though? Can I copy those?
In
I don't
class,
know
huh?
what it is. You know, here I've got B's, so if they get B's, they'll say that's, you know
Well,
what I
I'm
mean, but
making-
depending on the class.
I'm
I
making-
don't know.
Start from 12.
flashcards.
Oh, to study.
Yeah,
Okay, I see.
you got 5 more minutes?
Oh, I'm
Nah.
sorry. This is 13 prep, right?
Alright. Now, so what do you think? So which,
Oh, how about 11?
So-
Test statistics.
Wouldn't that be the no,
nope.
that's your exponential.
Nope,
That's your exponential.
that is exponential.
There's
That's
none
your
other before that
Nope.
give values?
Linear.
That's linear, that's quadratic.
Next question.
So quadratic means two.
Okay.
Linear is one line, so
But I'm
yeah,
glad you got all
okay.
that, 'cause I'm like,
So those are
they
good.
said,
We can move on
maybe
to
it's
the next.
just, maybe these are wrong and they switched over now, I should have.
Okay. So it says draw the graph of a quadratic function that has a vertex of negative 2,
Okay.
5.
So what's the
And then
y-intercept? I've heard that before.
Negative,
So the y-intercept
Anthony found
is, we have,
a very
X.
important thing that
so
you share with
it's
your
once
classmates.
x equal,
They're
so
equal.
how to get the y-intercept, you have x is equal to 0. So once we plot 0,
Keep going.
once we substitute 0 for
Oh,
x,
okay,
we'll get
Okay, sorry.
our y-intercept.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
So
0.1, that's
our
So,
intercept
14.
is
3.
is 0,
1.
is coordinate 0, 3.
Okay.
And our vertex is negative 2, 5. So we have to plot our vertex first according to this.
Sorry,
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So
So it has a,
2.214.
it's negative 2, 5.
let's see here. -2, right there.
Uh-huh. Good.
Okay.
And now we're gonna plot our y-intercept of 3. So 0, 3.
Why are the other ones different then? That's what I don't get.
So 0,
Miss
3.
Anthony.
Not 3, 0. No, no, no.
Is it
That's the other way
Is
around.
it toolbox?
0,
Toolbox?
yes. So
Because
click
you were
trash,
using a different one.
No, we're
and then
using-
let's start over again.
But
Okay,
I'm
so
wondering-
now let's go
wait,
back
no,
there.
no, I
So
thought the
negative
same
2,
answers
5.
were 50. Those are right.
Now we do 0, 3. There we go, right there. There's your parabola.
Oh, I'm supposed to help you.
So that means it opened down. Perfect. There you go.
Yeah, like this one is 2.209. That's quite a difference than
Yeah.
That's better.
2.24.
Okay. Alright, we can go to the next one. Okay.
Do you want to go to the homework quiz now?
No,
or-
that was it. Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have to do the homework quiz?
Let's see.
Yeah, but you what?
So it says, so we need to find all,
Yeah.
so we need to find the vertex,
Okay.
find the y-intercept,
And the teacher, she changed.
and then the
So
direction
this was supposed to
of
be
the
today,
parabola.
but he changed it to Monday because he said that there were some students in trouble.
That's good. He wants to make sure, or she, is it a she or he?
Very common.
All right, oh yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I have to go.
Are you late for something?
No,
Okay,
but
you're done.
Yeah.
You're ready to go home, right?
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, we had it for 2 hours, but sometimes we don't need it, and that's fine too, then, we're good, right?
Okay.
Just like I wanna
mhm.
So we
live
have,
and have a life outside of my house.
so we need the vertex,
Thank you. You're doing fantastic, Anthony.
and then we have,
You're doing so great. Are you
we need
enjoying it?
the
Are you enjoying it?
y-intercept,
Or is it just like going down?
Sometimes.
So, I want you to
Okay.
know that.
and then we
don't
want the
feel afraid.
direction.
Like, if you're like, I still don't get that, you know what? I've had years and years of still not getting that. So never feel like, you don't get that, because sometimes, okay, I get it, and then we, like, wait, how does that work again? What does that mean again?
Okay,
I'm, you know?
so that's what we
So I
need.
hope you feel comfortable enough to
Now.
talk to me about anything.
Okay.
Even your love life is not like that.
Okay,
Okay, see you.
Have a great weekend.
You too.
so great.
Bye.
Alright, so, vertex. So, we need to know what our A and what our B is for this quadratic.
Yeah.
Okay, so, what's our A in this situation?
Our A,
Uh-huh, so what's A in this quadratic?
I don't know.
Or what's the
Do
code?
we have
So,
to solve for X?
oh, no, we don't. Not in this case. So remember, you remember when we, when I wrote this out right here?
I might have seen that.
Okay, so, I can remind you. So, you remember the standard form of the quadratic right here when I wrote this out?
Maybe.
Okay, so this is the standard form of a quadratic equation.
If you see a $10 bill hanging around, it's mine, just so you know.
Oh, okay. I was like, no wonder you were,
What?
I was like, no wonder you were looking for something, I was wondering. Okay.
That's worth looking for.
Oh, goodness. Hopefully you get it. Alright. So.
Quadratic equation.
So that's the standard form of it, so. Okay, great. Now, in this case, what we need to do is we're gonna write down what A, B, and C represent
Okay.
from this problem, right? Okay. So,
Did you find it?
I did.
okay.
Cause look.
It was in the pocket.
This
Yeah.
I was looking in this pocket.
Sometimes
Oh, yeah.
we have some
Are
in the
you,
pockets.
Heidi, are you taking Math 108?
I took it already.
Oh, okay.
I'm tutoring stats. I can tutor other subjects too, but I don't, with the stats, there's a big need for stats.
I know, it's
And-
ridiculous.
And you know what? I find stats the easiest math subject of them all.
It's fun.
Really?
Statistics is fun. It's
Don't you have to take the other ones before you can take stats?
I've taken everything I need. I'm minor, yeah. I took
Yeah.
108.
yeah.
265.
No, you don't need 265 for stats.
No. Some courses you don't
Because
need.
it's 221.
It's
The one I'm,
221.
there's higher stats, but the ones that I need to take and what I'm tutoring is 221.
Yeah.
Smaller distance.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
All right, well, enjoy Kendrick. He's
Oh, yeah,
there
for
to
sure.
enlighten you.
Oh yeah,
beyond the phone and
he's enlightened me already. It's funny. So now.
Awesome.
So in this case, what I did was I aligned the actual function to I aligned this standard form function to the actual function that we're working with. All
Want
right.
me to close the door?
I got it. Go ahead.
You sure?
Okay.
So where'd you get these numbers from?
Oh, right there.
Okay.
That is the function itself. So now,
The quadratic.
that's the quadratic
Form?
Right. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay. Now, in this case, you see which numbers match which letter, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we need A and B to help us
Okay.
with this. So
Oh, is that A?
That's an A, yeah, not a 9.
No, you're good, because at first I looked at it and I'm like, wait,
That
where'd
can't-
you get the...
That's not a 9, it's an A. Okay, there we go. Okay. Good thought. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna substitute A and B to get the X coordinate part of the vertex.
Okay.
Okay. So, we're gonna have negative 16 right here, right?
So what's this equation?
That's the X part of the vertex. So the vertex is negative b divided by 2a, comma, f of negative b divided by 2a. So this is the vertex form itself. Okay.
So that's X.
So that's just the X part of the vertex.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
I've probably seen these before.
You just need a reminder, which is okay.
Yeah.
It's alright. And then we substitute A. So, and we can be over, I don't care. So
Okay.
it is what it is. So we got negative 16. And then we have 2 times 4, which is 8. So, now, we do negative 16 divided by 8.
Okay.
So that's going to give us negative 2.
Okay. So I put negative 2 in there.
In that part, yeah.
Okay.
So negative 2 makes up the first part of our vertex,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put that right there, just for future reference, you see.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Now, what we need to do is, this is f of this number, right?
Yeah.
So that means I need to plug in
Mm-hmm.
that -2 into this problem to
Oh.
get y, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to put -4 times -2 squared plus 16 times -2 minus 1. I don't know why I put 0 in here. I'm gonna get rid of that because that's not gonna make any sense.
Okay.
Okay. So now we need the y coordinate. So okay. Now we need to solve for the number.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we have -2 squared, which is +4. So I'm just going to do 4 times 4 plus 16 times -2 minus 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. 4 times 4,
It's 8. Or
no, that's 4 plus 4.
Hold on. 4 times 4 is not 82.
No. 4 times 4 is how much?
24?
Not quite. That's 4 times 6.
Let's hear. 4 times 5 is 20.
Right?
Minus
4 is
16.
16. Great. Now, we have 16 times a -2, that's -32
Okay.
minus 1. Okay. Now,
It's going to be a negative number.
exactly it is. So we have 16 minus a -32, which is -16.
Yeah.
-16 minus 1, which is -17. So our vertex overall is -2, -17. But the y coordinate of the vertex is -17.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Put that in.
So we put that in. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, the y-intercept. Okay. So what we need to do for the y-intercept is, all we have to do is just plug in 0 for the equation. Oh, 0 for x, sorry.
Okay.
So I'm just going to erase that part right there. We don't need the vertex anymore because we know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So all we got to do is just substitute 0 in for x in this case.
Oh, okay.
Because that's how we're going to get our y-intercept.
Oh.
Okay, so we have 4 times 0 squared plus 16 times 0 minus 1.
Wouldn't that just be 0?
Yep, 0's here, plus
16.
times 0 is what?
0
Mm-hmm.
minus 1.
So what is it?
-1.
Yep. So our y-intercept is -1. So
Is it going to open down or open up?
it's going to open up,
Okay.
actually. Let's check. Yes, because our vertex is negative. So it's -2, -17. So it's down here, so
Okay.
it's going to open up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we got, it's a little difficult, but it's not impossible to do.
So for the y-intercept,
Uh-huh.
you just plug in 0?
For x. Yes, you plug in 0 for x to get your y-intercept.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Plug in 0 for x.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Sweet. Now we have to do this problem. So this one is 3/2, and then the base of this one is 4/3. 4/3 raised by x minus 1.
Do we know what x is?
No, we don't. So, well, in that instance, yes, they gave us in x, really. So it said x is 1. So that means what we're going to do, we're just going to plug in x, right?
Mhm.
So we just have 3/2, 4/3 raised by 1.
And that's just 4.
It's just 4/3, exactly. So all I got to do is just leave that alone now. Okay.
3 times 4 is 7.
Nope, not quite.
No.
That's addition.
Oh.
3 times 4, right? That's
So
okay.
3 times 3 is 36.
No,
No.
not quite. That's okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. No. Just take a breath. It's going to be all right. It's not too bad.
Mhm.
Okay. So we want to multiply 3 4 times, right?
Mhm.
So that means we know 1 3 is 3, pretty much.
Yeah.
If I add another 3, what is it?
27.
No, not quite. So if I add another 3 to 3,
Mhm.
then what is it?
6.
Then if I add another 3 to 6,
9.
what is it? And then if I add another 3 to 9, is what?
18.
Another
12.
3. There you go. So 3 times 4 is 12, right?
Mhm.
So that's for the numerator.
And then 2 times 3 is 6.
Exactly, yes. Now, we need to divide this.
And that's going to be 6.
Not quite. That's subtraction. 12 minus 6 is 6.
Oh.
But we're dividing 12 and 6. There you go. So it's 2.
So it's a negative.
So 2 minus 1 is how much?
Negative 1.
Not negative. Hold it.
Positive 1.
There you go. 1. So negative 1, 1. All right.
Okay.
Now, okay.
And
so
y-intercept?
we need the y-intercept. So we need to plug in what number for x?
0.
0. Great.
0 the hero. 0 the hero.
Now, what number will I get if I have a number raised by 0?
0.
Not quite.
Oh, 1.
1. Because we did that last time, didn't we? Because we had 2 raised by 0.
And that's subtract 1, right?
Oh, thank you. Yes. Silly me.
And
3/2 times 1 minus 1. That doesn't change.
3/2.
3/2. Now, we have a whole number. So how many halves make up one whole?
1.
Not quite. How many halves? So like this, for example. If I cut this in half, how many halves do I have? I have 2 halves. So one whole makes up 2 halves.
So it's just going to be
3/2 minus 2 halves
2.
is 2, right? 2 halves, yep. So 3/2 minus 2 halves is how many?
0.
Not quite. If this was 3/2, then I would agree. But we have 3/2, so we have 3
Oh, no,
halves
it's gonna
minus
be
2
1
halves.
half.
There you go. It's 1/2. So that means this is 0.5. I don't know. Yeah, it's 0.5.
Okay.
Okay. Now, we need the horizontal asymptote. I know this is new. We usually in 108 don't talk about horizontal asymptotes, but it's weird. I don't know. This is one topic that that is very, very weird. I don't know. But anyway, so let's see what I was gonna say. Oh yes. Okay, so the horizontal asymptote for this one is a -1. The reason why is because if I set -1 equal to y equal to the f of x, I'm gonna kind of do this problem so that way you can see why it's this. Okay, first I'm gonna add 1 to both sides.
Mhm.
That's going to give me 0. Okay. Now, I'm going to multiply, or, well, I'll just divide the fraction over. Divide 3/2 on both sides. That's going to divide and be 1. So 0 divided by that fraction is 0. That won't change. So 0 is equal to 4/3 raised by x. Now, I don't know if you remember anything natural log wise, but I know you want to wait and talk about natural logs. You'll talk about that once you get to the calculus. But so here I have to use natural logs to help me. So I have to natural log both sides because of the power rule here.
Okay.
But in the natural log functions, I cannot have natural log of 0. That's going to give me infinity. So that number doesn't exist. So that's why that this is an asymptote at -1.
Okay.
So we're going to put -1 here, okay, as our asymptote. Now, okay, so we know that's our asymptote. So now we have to plot this stuff. So, so we have -1, 1, because that was one of the points.
Yeah.
Right there. Oh no, 1, 1, my bad, not -1, 1. Then we have our y-intercept, so it would be 0 and then 1/2, which is right there. Oh, right there somewhere. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it right there. Somewhere around there. And then we have -1 as our asymptote. Have to put that last. There we go. That should be the function.
Okay.
Let's check.
Check it.
That is a yes.
Yay! Now we're in it.
Perfect. Let's see. See if we got 100 out of 100 here. Let's see.
Oh, come on. Don't give us trouble, computer.
Oh, there we go. I didn't click it. There we go.
Yay!
100.
100%.
Yep.
And Quentin said.
Awesome. That's sweet. That's good.
Well, thanks so much, Kendra.
You're welcome. You need to make flashcards, huh?
Yeah.
Why? You got a test coming up or something?
Yeah, I have one that I'm gonna make up, and then I have another one coming up in like a few weeks.
So which one you got to make up? Is it about
Unit,
functions? or something?
Unit 1.
Unit 1. Is that just?
This one, it was these, all these, I wrote all these down. There's about all this.
Propositions,
Conditional.
conditional statements. Oh, that? Oh,
Yeah.
that's nothing.
Oh,
I can. I'm about to say I can help you with that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's nothing.
Oh, okay.
It's nothing, bro.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nothing, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mean, median, mode. Let's see. So, let's see, mean, median, mode. We know the mean, that's the average.
Okay.
The median is the middle number so you put the data in chronological order, and it's the middle number
Yeah.
in that data set. And if you have two numbers in the middle, you have to average them out and divide by 2 to get the actual median. The mode, well, that's the one that repeats a lot. Which means if I have 3 35s in the data and then maybe like 2 6s, that means the mode is 35. Now let's see, percentiles. So like unit 1, so I'm sure they have something on here that might might help you. I don't know. Have you gone? Let's see. Have you gone over to look to see what they
I
have?
might have. I don't know.
So I'm sure in unit 1, let's see. Yeah, you got homework stuff. Let's see, that's the video. Where about that?
What the heck? There's nothing.
Well, it said next, so keep going.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So you gotta keep going. I'm sure it's in Maple TA, cause, you know, once you go to Maple TA, all your stuff is in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just gotta go to Maple TA and look at your, past
Modules.
stuff.
It looks like it was the only thing there was the homework.
Huh, let's see. Did they close? Oh. Let's see, cause your attempts are unlimited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, exam review, there it is, right there. Okay,
It looks like I might have missed.
you missed a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see what you missed.
Okay. I don't know if it'll tell me.
I think it'll tell you, cause it has the grade.
Okay.
So, I think it'll tell you, you just have to, yeah. Since it passed already, you can look at the details. Not there, details,
So,
yeah,
see what we missed.
right, yeah, there you go. Perfect, it'll show you everything. And you can look back over this. Oh, and proper generalization. Oh, okay. So it says, if logical flaws exist, identify the flaw. Okay. According to the most recent statistics from the Centers of Disease Control, West Virginia has the highest rate of obesity in the United States. Living in West Virginia make you gain weight? Really? No. No way. That's a false cause. That's like a false cause. There's no way.
Yeah.
Just because it says that West Virginia has disease control. Just because West Virginia has a higher rate of obesity doesn't mean that living in West Virginia will make you gain weight. That makes no sense whatsoever. People that I know sometimes it's just nuts. People, you know, in America, that's why I like arguments. It's pretty funny to me, to be honest. Yeah. Okay. So, okay.
Looks like that.
That's the only one. Okay. Looks like you know what you're doing, Ro.
Yeah.
sure?
somewhat,
You should.
well, I had another tutor help me with it.
Oh.
And so that's why.
So what don't you understand about some of this, like, when it comes to,
I think just trying to figure it out. Like some of the equations sometimes, trying to familiarize myself with it.
okay. So like, when it comes to the argument specifically,
Yeah, like
yeah.
how I wrote down these terms, all those
Yeah.
terms.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, it's kind of
No,
weird.
you're all right. So the minimum is the smallest number. It's the smallest number for the 5-number summary, and the maximum is the highest.
Okay. So you said the maximum.
Maximum is the highest number,
So equals highest.
highest number of the data set, and the minimum is the lowest number of the data set. Okay, then let's see the input, output. Okay, the input, we kind of did that a little bit when we plugged in numbers for x,
Mm-hmm.
and then
So this is input is equals x.
yeah, that's the independent variable.
Okay, and then this is
And
y.
the y is the output, yes. Exactly. Y is dependent, x is independent.
Okay.
Okay. Now, a prime number is a number that has factors of 1 and itself. For example, like 13. 13 is a prime number. 7,
Okay.
2.
So it's one and itself?
Exactly. It's a number that has factors 1 and itself. Only. That's it. Like, for example, 19. 19 is a prime number. 13. 11. You know, some of those. So. Okay. Let's see. Functions we just did.
Yeah.
Functions we just did. That we just did. Let's see. Let's see. Standard deviation. The standard deviation is the spread of the data. So you know, for example, you have a mean, and then you have a standard deviation that spreads it out consistently.
Okay, so I'm gonna just type that down.
No, it's all good.
If my phone will work.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it just looks like here, it looks like you need to go over this again, because that's pretty much what it's about at this point. Yep, quantitative process, we already got this, question 1. Okay. So it looks like basically it's mostly off this review. Do you really have to take the exam again?
I think so.
Oh.
I might have missed.
You might have messed up somewhere or something.
Yeah, or something.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, this is conditional statements. They're if-then statements, pretty
Okay.
much. We already know that.
Okay, so if then.
They're if-then.
So-
They're if-then type of statements.
Standard deviation.
It's the spread of the data. It,
Spread. And wait, you said conditional?
is their if-then statements. So like it's like if I study, then I pass the test. That's an example of a conditional statement,
Okay.
right? So okay, all right, now so like if I exercise, then I can lose weight or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those are examples of conditional statements. Like for example, this one is like, this is a conditional statement. If you eat a whole carton of ice cream, then you'll get a stomachache. So then it says, what will make this false? Basically, you eat a whole carton of ice cream, but you won't get a stomachache. Good luck with that. You will. Trust and believe. Okay. So let's. No, you're good. I'm not worried about that. So now let's see. Okay. So percentile is a percentage. A percentile is a percentage. It's a percentage that you've taken. It's a percentage that is either you or that percentage has above, pretty much. That's what a percentile is.
Percentile.
Let's see.
Percentile. I
Yeah.
have that on here somewhere, right?
You do.
So it's a what?
I'll show you.
Oh, okay.
Percentile. It explains it better than I can. Percentile. Here we go. Great. So, is a measure in statistics indicating the value below, which just gives a, it's a percentage. It's a percentage of observations in a group.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a percentage of observations in a group of observations. So for example, the 20 percentile is the value below which 20% of the observations may be found.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the definition of a percentile pretty much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Alright. That's no problem. Let's see.
So each of
It says applied conditional statements. Okay. Let's see. Propositions.
so the
So
percentile.
percentile, yeah. It's let's see, it's a measure used in statistics indicating, let's see, the value below which is given a percentage, which a given percentage of observations in a group of observations fall.
So the value of observation.
Yeah, it's a value of operations given a percentage, pretty much. It's a percentage of observations, yeah. So like the 50th percentile or something is the, okay. So yeah, oh yeah, these will help. So like these arguments specifically, these fallacies will help you get to understand the arguments. So for example,
Oh, okay. So if I just look these up.
yeah, you can just look these up and see how they work. Like here, for example, I think this is a personal attack, to be honest. Because living in West Virginia, making you gain weight, that don't make sense. Well, it's not a personal attack, really. It's like, let's see. It's not an improper generalization. Oh, it's an alternative explanation. This is what this is.
Okay.
This is an alternative. This the one you got wrong. This is an alternative explanation.
Okay.
Because this leading to a conclusion is leading to a conclusion already, which is not true. It's like oh, it's kind of like it's kind of like a false cause. It's like, okay, you know, just because, you know, if I eat ice cream, then it's gonna snow in the winter. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of like that. That's ridiculous, right? That's a false cause. That's not gonna cause that. What's the correlation between that? Because that's pretty much what this is. It's like they say that this is the highest rate of obesity in the United States, but then they're saying that living in West Virginia is gonna make you fat, pretty much. And that's why I'm like, no. That what correlation is that? Like, that doesn't make sense. Just because it has the highest obesity rate, that doesn't mean that living there is going to make you gain weight. That doesn't make sense at all. Like, no. Let's see, propositions. That's just basically you making the deal, pretty much. Implied conditional statements. Let's see. Do you know the truth table?
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
What? Okay. So basically the truth table, it's like this. So you have two statements. And then you have this. Now, you're going to have if-then statements, pretty much. So,
Oh, I think I've seen
this,
something
yeah. So, this is going to help you understand how the if-then statements work. Okay, so, if the first part of the statement is true, but then the second part of the statement is true, clearly, that's gonna be the truth here,
Mhm.
okay? Now, if the first part of the statement is true, but then the second part of the statement is false, that's when we're gonna have false here.
Okay.
If the first part of the statement is false, but the second part of the statement is true, we're gonna have true.
Okay.
And then if they're both false, that means that's a true statement,
Alright.
okay? It's kinda like, for example, if I eat a lot of ice cream, then I'm gonna have a stomach ache. That's pretty much the truth right there. If I eat a lot of ice cream but don't have a stomach ache, that's a false statement overall. Because it's like, that doesn't make sense. If I eat a lot of ice cream right now, and if I don't get a tummy ache, that is ridiculous. I'm gonna have a tummy ache sooner or later. So if I don't eat a lot of ice cream and I have a tummy ache, then that's a true statement. Because sometimes ice cream is not really that healthy. So, and if I don't eat a lot of ice cream, and if I don't have a stomach ache, that's true. That's true. That's a true statement.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Other than that, yeah, I would just, let's see.
Okay.
Just, go over the review.
Mhm.
I'll just go over this again. Just try to, refresh yourself with this.
Okay, like do it over?
I would say do it over, so that
Okay.
way you can get it fresh on your mind.
Mhm.
Yeah, and if you need any help, I'm here. You got my number now, so
Okay. Do I somewhere? Probably on the thing, right?
yeah.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah,
When do you work in the math lab?
I'm gonna be in there tomorrow. I'm taking someone's shift at 1.
Oh, okay, I don't get off till 3, so the math lab closes at 2.
Let's see. Tell you what, I don't have anything going on tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I don't. So let's see. When is your retake?
I'm gonna try to see if I can schedule it maybe Thursday or the next Thursday. So not the Thursday coming up. It might be
Thursday after.
Yeah,
So in November. So like in the middle of November. Almost.
maybe. Yeah, can we tell when the next?
Next what? Because yesterday was the 25th.
I'm hoping to take it, like I said, Thursday coming up.
So yesterday was 25th.
That means that it's gonna be yeah. Let's see here, because the next one isn't due until the 12th.
Okay. Okay. So the next one is due to the 12th. So okay. So let's see.
And I'm hoping to be ready for that one, so I can take that one on the due date. So, when's the 12th?
12th should be a Monday.
Oh, gosh.
I think it's a Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's a Monday. Yep. I knew it. I knew it was on Monday. I knew it. Okay. So basically, November 1st. Well, that's next week. No. The 8th. The 8th is the next Thursday.
I'm hoping, if anything, take it by,
By the 8th.
yeah, and then hopefully be ready for that one by the 12th. Unless I take this one on the 1st, and then I'd have some time to study for the next one.
Okay. So yeah, let's see, if you want to meet up tomorrow, I can help you study, then we can.
Okay, like what time?
So you don't get off till 3, so
Yeah, I get off at 3:30,
3:30. So we can meet up at
like
4.
4:20.
4, yeah.
Four-
Right around the same time, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, we can meet up there.
okay. Do we need to make an appointment?
We don't have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll just log your hours.
Yeah, I can just, log in, but
Okay.
yeah, so it's
Cool.
totally
Well,
fine.
thanks so much, Kendrick.
You're welcome, man.
So that'll be awesome, and then we'll be able to get jump started. So,
You can jumpstart a little bit,
yeah.
right, yeah, a little bit on there as well, so yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
awesome. Well, thank you so much for the
You're welcome.
help today, and
You're welcome.
I'll see you tomorrow at 4:20.
420, yeah, for sure,
Yeah,
definitely,
perfect.
for sure.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
yeah. Okay.